Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to exclusive TMR sports coverage of UVF Intramural basketball. First game tonight will be the Staff versus Primetime. Second game will be the Rockets versus the Warriors. Sorry, I had to think for a second there. Mikey Edwards, I'll be having the call of the 10 o'clock game. Do not know who I'm going to be joined up with, but I'm sure I'll have someone good. First game will be Bryce Koch, or he'll call himself Bryce Wayne, along with Tom Pottiger. So you don't want to miss any of the intramural action here. Keep it tuned right here to TMR. And we're live here with the Mikey report. Tip-off set to begin in just a moment. Starting lineups for staff. Doug Smith, Chris Stutzman, Juan Delcid, Matt Widener, and Zachary Barberi. Excuse me. Young Park. And for the Primetime, we got OG Malone, Zach Barberi, Shatier Monroe, Ethan Holmes, and the Brandon kid who only shoots threes.
Jaybird is here.
Joined here with our senior analyst, John Manning, who Tom Pottiger will be taking over the duties for him in just a moment. But just give us your rundown on what you think is going to happen tonight, Jaybird, quick, before we have to turn the mic over to Tom.
I think that if the Primetime uses everybody on their team tonight, they'll for sure get the win as long as they play solid defense, move the ball around, work the ball to each other, and play a solid game of basketball. I think that they'll be able to pull out the W tonight. But also, for the staff, the staff could play some great defense, lock down the main players, and definitely come away with the win too. It's both a possibility, and I'm excited to see how it'll play out in today's game.
Thank you, John. That was John. Now he's going to turn the mic over to our regular everyday commentators. Tom Pottiger, good to have you back.
What is up? It is good to be back, Bryce. Good to be back in the UVF gymnasium.
We are excited, the pit, as we call it. We're excited to get a good look at these two teams as Zach Barberi dribbles down low. He's going to bring it back out to the top, passes to OG Malone down the middle, brings it down to Shatier. Shatier over to Brandon. Brandon for three. No, just kidding. It's a pass, an errant pass at best.
I think he even fooled his own team there.
I believe so. I believe he got caught up in between. He wasn't sure whether it was a pass or a shot. It looks like so far the scoreboard isn't exactly correct. It's 0-0, but we'll see if they get that fixed in a moment. Doug Smith for three, and he'll get that to go.
Beautiful.
Zach Barberi will be taking over point guard duties for Real Primetime at the moment. That usually changes throughout the game. Shatier Monroe brings it up as well. Shatier playing point now. Calls Barberi, gives it to OG Malone. OG Malone, a former UVF Patriot basketball player, dishes back out to OG Malone. OG for three. Won't get it to go. Chris Stutzman with the rebound. Chris Stutzman, can't talk enough about him. A rebounding machine. Fantastic player from New York City, New York. Young Park. Down to Juan Delcid in the corner. Juan, better known for his soccer skills than his basketball, but we see him on the court tonight. Another interesting fact. As Doug works it down low to Young. Won't get it to go. Rebound by OG Malone. And a beautiful rebound by Matt Widener as Young Park will bring it up. Young Park, interesting setup. They're usually getting used to playing without. Rebound by OG Malone as he will take it up the court himself. Strong defense by Young Park off the gate. Works it down low to Ethan Holmes. Ethan Holmes won't get it to go that time, but the foul is called and he'll go to the line for two. Ethan Holmes going to the line, shooting two. We want to give a shout out to our listeners. Craig Lahr, we're sure you're out there. As Ethan drains the first one.
Clap your hands if you're live viewing tonight.
You know, Tom, starting off looking out, they said Real Primetime was going to blow them out of the water. So far, it's looking like it could go that way with an 8-1 run, 7-0 run for the Real Primetime as Chris Stutzman works it down low to Juan Delcid. I believe the problem with the staff team is they just don't have enough scorers, and it's Matt Widener who puts it in for staff. They just don't have the outside shot without Tim Lateef, and with Tim Lateef not being here tonight, definitely going to hurt him. Actually, I correct myself. Tim Lateef is on
the bench as he's a late, healthy scratch, but he's here tonight along with Mikey Edwards on the bench. It's going to be interesting to see what Tim Latif can do. He's a world-renowned class player, played in Europe for several years, and so it's nice to have him back here in the States. Zach Barberi dishes it down low to OG Malone. OG Malone back out to Brandon Barrios. All Brandon Barrios really does is shoot the three, but that's all they need him to do here as he goes for it again. Brandon Barrios for three, won't get it to go. Rebound by Juan Delson, who tips it over to Doug Smith. Doug Smith, not sure what to do with it. Gives it over to Young Park. Young Park bringing it up. 1-12. I'm not sure they have the scoreboard 100% right at the moment, as Juan Delson loses that one out of bounds. Pretty light crowd here tonight. As we always see, the first game usually is a little bit lighter than the second game. Fans will start to pile in, though. Primetime is not a fan favorite team. They usually have a lot of haters. As Brandon Barrios takes his third three attempt of the night, finally gets one to go. It was about time, but that's a nice shot. As Doug Smith is arguing with the ref a little bit, as is his custom. Hasn't ever helped him yet, considering he scores about 8 points a game. Matt Widener, not sure what to do. Goes out with a nice jumper, won't get it to go. Rebound by Doug Smith. And he puts two in. Refs aren't calling much here tonight, Tom. Seems like they're letting them play. That could come back to hurt the staff team as they live a lot. They need a lot of help from the refs usually to get a win.
Yeah, right now I only see one ref actually on the court, which is unusual.
That's
So
very, very unusual. I would like to see them get another one out there. That's not helping anybody. It reflects poorly on the program.
yeah,
As Young Park brings it up for the staff team. They're starting to get into a little bit of the rhythm. 2 buckets on their last 2 possessions. Chris Stutzman looking down low, stolen away by Ethan Holmes. Gets back to Tony Malone as he will bring it up the court for the real Primetime. Trying to work out the reffing situation. There's only 1 on the court. Maybe there'll be 2 at halftime. Substitution is called, and Mikey Edwards will come into the game. Mikey Edwards, Tom, if you remember last game, he was the one who had the big 3. It was the one-on-one matchup with Craig Lahr, and it was a straight shootout. Very fun to watch. Hopefully we'll see such an effort out here tonight.
also I would love to see that strong defense back from Mikey. That was phenomenal last game.
He played fantastic defense. If you remember the block on Mike Stum, which the block heard around the world. As the ref blows another whistle. The timeout is called by the Primetime. Take this opportunity now to thank our fans for coming out, always who tune in live every week. You can check this out at the TMR on YouTube. You can follow us on Mikey Edwards' personal Facebook page, or you could follow me on Twitter at Bryce, BRYCE _ Koch, KOCH. Stay tuned. We're going to catch up with Rachel Gomez of the women's softball team here at halftime to discuss their season and what's going on with that. We'll tune in, talk about the new head coach, the transition that's made, and if that's had any effect on their season. So that'll be an exciting halftime show. This one ref thing, Tom, keep going back to it. It's not good. I'd like to see another ref show up. As we see now, Tim Latif check in for the staff team. This is going to be a major morale booster for them. As if you remember last game when he showed up late, he totally changed the game. So hopefully it's not too late for him to do the same thing here tonight.
I would love to see that.
Tim Latif, recently married. Not sure how that's going to affect his play, but he is a youth ministry major, so that always has some sort of effect. Interesting to note, Tim Latif is on the court, but Young Park is still doing the point guard duties as he drives in hard, doesn't get it, as Zach Barberi takes it up the court. Now, almost a backcourt violation, not quite. He's going to dish it off to Brandon Barrios, who's going to take a three as is custom, gets it to go. Impressive. He's 2 for 5 from the three-point arc tonight, shooting 40%. Staff team just looks really slow tonight coming out of the gate. They're not playing with the intensity that they usually do. They're trying to work it down low and get nice shots. Unfortunately, they don't have shooters. As Matt goes in hard, can't get it to fall, and OG Malone brings it up. Ethan Holmes with the spinorama, tips off the glass, can't get it to go, throws it out deep. Kari says his foot was on the line, and that's a turnover. Give it to the staff. Tim Latif with the ball at the top. He's driving it around. Loses it. Stolen by Tony. Tony's going to take it the other way. Not looking for help, but he does pass it to Brandon Barrios with the no-look pass to Ethan Holmes. Ethan Holmes goes in hard and will get the bucket for 2.
That is some good stuff right there.
It's 14-11, excuse me. The Primetime must be the home team. Staff must be the away team.
Which is very confusing because we thought Staff was underneath right now, but they seem to be on top, actually.
They were not winning the game a moment ago. Now they're up 5. I don't know if they started off with a point handicap or what exactly happened, but kind of an interesting setup here tonight. Maybe to make the game more fair. As Matt Widener passes it over to Young Park. Young Park brings it up for the staff. Not really looking for a lot of options. He had some stuff down low early on. Not looking for it. He dribbles back up to the top. Passes over to Tim Latif. Tim Latif, calm and cool as ever. Matt Weiner's pass is blocked. Picked up, though, by Chris Stutzman. Kept in bounds. Matt Weiner getting confused as Brandon Barrios for the other team was calling for the ball hard. Wow, no-look pass. And it goes in. That
was beautiful execution from the staff team.
Beautiful no-look pass by Young Park to Matt Winder. And, we really begin to see their chemistry start to heat up a little bit as the season's gone on. It's impressive. I'd like to see where this goes in the future. As Shatir takes that lefty little floater, not tipped in by Ethan Holmes, rebounded by Tim Latif. And he will bring it down as a point guard. And another confusing thing, Tom, is as that ball gets
just got
the rim
stuck.
And the glass tipped out easily by OG Malone. Tom, do you think teams in this league should be forced to wear the same color jerseys? It seems very confusing when you're down on the court. You're not totally sure who's on your team, especially if you're playing with a couple different teams every week. The no jersey rule, if you look on the court, there are literally 19 different color combinations that you could do. I'm not sure if we're at American Eagle Outfitters or if we're watching basketball.
Personally, if I was on one of these teams, I would probably have that put in motion. But, it's up to these teams if they want to get confused or not on the court, honestly.
It is, and it's very tough as Juan Delcid will take a 3 and he will rain it down. Count it. That bucket is good. Oh, mama.
He's not only good with his feet.
He put that where mama keeps the cookies, top shelf.
Tim Latif brings it up the court. We're going to see what he's going to do with it. He hasn't had much of the ball. Gives it to Young. Still some slow movement from the staff team. Going down low to Chris. Oh, Chris's jump gets blocked.
Play-by-play commentating by Tom.
He's going to get the foul at the line, though.
Kari rejects the request for a second ref. John Manning is available to ref tonight, even with the injured foot. Kari says no. We'll see if that has any influence on the game as Tony Malone grabs Young Park's rebound, and Tony brings it up. The baseline hard, driving in, and he'll get that to go. Fantastic player, fantastic force. He comes in like a brick house, and it's tough to stop that. Tim Lateef bringing the ball up for Staff. Passes down low to Doug, and Doug will get it to go. Beautiful play. Doug Smith, a key asset of the marketing department and this young Staff team. You know, I'd like them to see the Staff team incorporate Chris Stutzman into the game a little bit more. He's got such raw ability, as that's a fantastic block by Youngs. Rebound, second shot taken by Brandon Barrios, will not go.
Very sloppy, I think, on that. I think he should have thought a little bit more, maybe gone with a pass there.
Fantastic insight. He gets his first pass blocked. He decides to shoot it as Tim Lateef fires that one high and wide. Yeah, they do say that on the scouting report of Brandon Barrios, that is the one thing. He is very trigger happy. He loves to shoot. He's known as the Western gunslinger. I would like to see him take shots when he's open, but, you know, if he's not, look to facilitate a little bit more. He's very focused on his own personal stats, and I think that really comes back to haunt him, especially when they make playoffs and every bucket counts. Oh, Brandon Barrios does not shoot. He actually passes it. It's a miracle. OG Malone dribbles in hard, passes to Ethan Holmes, and you can't say enough about that one.
Very clean execution right there. I like that.
Holmes, they work the post so well. They both have a very good basketball sense, and it just shows off so well.
We got Young.
Playing hard defense by Shatir Monroe. Yeah. He's looking. He's probably going to go to Juan, and he does, all the way back out to Tim Lateef. Tim Lateef, calm, cool, collected, passes down low, and the foul, and one. Doug goes up strong, draws the contact with his body, finishes the play. $1 million move, 10-cent finish.
What do you think about Tim not really moving that much right now? He's mostly just passing and staying really strong up on the top. What do you think about that?
You know, and that's something that Tim Lateef does so well. He's very good at what he'll do is he will lull defenses to sleep in the first half to a lot of passing, act like he's not a threat, and then come in like a viper and bam, bam, strike a couple of times like a viper. In the second half, he'll get some drives. He'll start drawing the body when the defense is weak. They won't be able to collapse as fast, and it really pays off for him. It's a strategy. I've seen him use it many times, and it's worked. So I'm assuming that's what he's going to be doing tonight as Chris Stutzman brings up the ball. They quickly get it in Tim Lateef's hands, a much safer move. He's just such a good he has such great court awareness as he sees the whole court really well. He's going to we've noticed the Primetime has gone to a zone.
Chris up for the three.
Doesn't
almost
go. That's a good look. Seen Primetime switches to a zone defense, and Tim Lateef is known to pick those apart all day. There's still looks like Staff is also playing a zone as that's stolen away by Christian Delsa. Christian Delsa loses it, falls down. OG Malone's going to drive in hard. As a foul is called, Doug Smith doesn't agree with the call. I don't really necessarily either. It looks like
I don't even think Tim agrees, so that means something, right?
Yeah, Tim Lateef doesn't. I was obviously a little bit confused, and that's where it all goes back to the whole. The one ref, a ref shouldn't be having to make that call from the back line. It should be the baseline judge making that call. Interesting is not, as it looks like Mikey Edwards will be subbing into the game along with Matt Widener. And you don't want to put a guy like Tony to the line because he's a proven shooter. He'll make it time and time again. As Matt Widener checks in for Staff, and Chris Stutzman heads to the bench. Nice shot by Tony, and he drains both of his free throws. 26-20. Interesting score. For some reason, according to the scoreboard, it's still counting Doug's team, Staff team up as 6. That's literally impossible. Let's hopefully they get the score figured out here going down the stretch. You can see, not happy with the refs' calls. Usually in a game where the refs are very fantastic, they make great calls. Tonight, not so much. As a timeout is called with 4:06 left to play. Primetime 20, Staff 26.
Crowd is still trickling really slow tonight.
Very slow, and this usually happens right before break. A lot of kids have a lot of assignments, tests, exams due around this time. Sometimes the 10 o'clock game is statistically much more people. It'll be interesting to see if they get more here tonight or not.
I'm looking forward to after Easter break. I'm hoping we get a bigger flow of crowd here.
There is, yeah. Usually after Easter, the homework, it kind of goes back to normal. Everything hits normal for a while, and you get a large support. Statistically, we get very good support for these intramural games. In fact, there are, statistically, if the numbers show correctly, there are more fans at intramural basketball games than there are at men's soccer games. But for obvious reasons, we see why. As we're back in play now.
That's because I'm not on the soccer team.
That is correct.
Doug up for a three.
Takes
Doesn't
a
quite
three,
make
doesn't
it.
Grab it, taken away by Brandon Barrios as Tony Malone takes over point guard duties for Primetime. Shatir, he's known to only have a left hand, but apparently that's all he needs for right now. As Young Park brings it up. Tim Latif brings it up, passes it down to Juan Delson. Juan Delson takes a deep three. Oh, it's close, doesn't go. We've seen Juan Delson take some really good shots.
Monroe is almost open. We're going to see what he gets there.
Oh,
Nothing.
and he misses the wraparound, doesn't quite get it. Tim Latif now you see the pressure by Tim Latif. He's beating his team up the floor. He does dish it out there. Normally we'd see him drive. Taken away, and Tony Malone will bring it up the court. He's going to go down to Shatir, it looks like again. Shatir fakes the shot, doesn't know what to do. Pump fakes, dribbles it back out to the top. Goes in hard, took about 3 steps. Don't call the travel. Zach Barberi misses the easy layup, and it's going to go the other way. Great defense by staff there. They're doing what they got to do. They're playing defense. They're getting the turnovers. They're not letting them score rapidly, and it's fantastic.
Now, back on the subject of having a second ref, do you think that would have been a travel right there?
I do. A second ref would post up right where the travel was just about made, and I think he would have a lot better view to see that. Unfortunately, that's the problem with that, as Brandon Barrios grabs his 4th rebound of the night. Fantastic job by him. Tony Malone drives in hard. Fantastic defense. Doesn't quite get to go his way, but Matt Weiner playing a fantastic job. Doesn't quite stop Tony on that one. Tony will head to the line to shoot 1.
And if you notice, the staff is still ahead. They're still keeping that lead just by a little, but it is just enough.
It's also interesting to note, not only do we have 1 ref tonight, we also have new scorekeepers. Jalen is doing the scoring on the computer. It's his first night ever on there. I don't know if he's made any mistakes. He does keep track of fouls, which is nice, but there also, if you see, there's no shot clock here tonight. Everything's on 0. Usually every night there's a shot clock, which is 26 seconds. Team has 26 seconds from once they cross half court to shoot. Tonight they literally have as long as they want. That can really come back to hurt, as it's a battle from underneath. And Doug finally puts it away after about 6 misses between him and Matt Weiner combined. That's where they got to tighten up. If they're going to make a deep playoff run, if they're going to be the dark horse of this league, they're going to have to start making those kind of shots. As Zach Barberi drains a nice 3. Usually not known for his shooting abilities, normally known just for being on the court. He does make a nice one there. Yeah. Little jumper from Doug. He'll get it to go, and that was all net. Nothing but net. That's pasta, baby.
Look at that, with a 4 lead on the staff team still. The students just can't seem to pull ahead there.
Well, staff is the visitors, so they actually have a 4-point lead on Primetime. Students. Primetime works it in low to Ethan Holmes. Misses. Oh, another rebound grab by Matt from Sodexo. Tim Latif. This is a time where you'd like to see Tim Latif push the ball, but it looks like they're going to hold for the last possession shot. Young doesn't apparently see that. Does the floater. Doesn't even come close to going in. Wraps all the way around. Strong defense play, but it gets up to Tim Latif. Now it looks like they're going to hold for last shot. Last shot means with 20 seconds left, you hold the ball till there's about less than 5. You take the shot, so the other team has no chance for a second shot. Hopefully, if they make this, they could go up by 6 going into half.
With no shot clock, they can hold this for a while.
That's another interesting thing. As Juan takes an interesting 3. No foul called.
Are they going to have time? Let's see.
And
Nope.
a last-minute halftime shot attempt by Tony Malone will not go, as the staff team is holding on to a skim lead, 30-26. Halftime report coming up, brought to you by Sodexo. Get all your lunch needs for a 19-block meal plan. It only costs an arm and a leg. Fantastic. Gonna see if we have.
All they give you is a finger.
Looking, there might be a halftime interview. We will be right back after a break from these messages. back here with our senior analyst, John Manning. John Manning, what did you see in that first half by the staff team? Really came out surprising, still holding on to a, skim 4-point lead. Interesting to note. You wouldn't think that, but with the addition of Tim Lateef, they're really able to hold their own.
See, Bryce, the one thing that shocked me the most was how much they were moving the ball. That ball movement was very it was probably the main point of their win that they have right now so far, their lead that they still have.
Seeing that, we noticed also Young Park took over a lot of the point guard duties for the staff team. Long down the stretch, do you think should really take over point guard duties, Tim Lateef or Young Park?
I think they both do. If they work together, I think they both do a very well job of facilitating the ball and moving the ball around, and that's one of the main things that they did this half that got them this 4-point lead.
Now, coming into the stretch, looking at all the teams in a wide panoramic view, who do you think right now has the best shot to win the chip? Looking at all teams that you've seen, we've seen them all play. Would you say it's Super Squad with featuring Mike Stum, Craig Lahr, and Ron Shea Vargas? Or, do you think it's going to be a dark horse team like the Warriors, bringing out Latrell out of retirement, and he's doing a fantastic job for them, facilitating the younger players? Who do you think is going to bring it home this year, or is it too early to tell?
I would have to say it's a little too early to tell right now. I would say my two teams that I would put in the championship as of right now is the Warriors with Latrell Alford and also Super Squad with Michael Stum. So I think that can be a great matchup that will even come down to the wire, and it would make a great and interesting championship game.
And I don't believe they've played yet in the regular season. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we haven't seen the Latrell Alford, Mike Stum matchup that we've been looking for. I mean, that could be a bigger matchup than Craig Lahr on Mikey Edwards, which we saw in a fantastic shootout the other night. I think that's going to draw a lot of fans. Hopefully we'll see the matchup of Latrell Alford versus Mike Stum after break. That'll give us something to look forward to and to come back to school for.
Speaking of Lahr and Edwards, I would really like to see Mikey Edwards to get more involved in this game. I really haven't seen him giving him the ball much, and it's just if you saw the last game that he played, those vicious three-pointers the one that he hit specifically, that was just a game changer, man. And it really impacted the game. And
not only to highlight his shooting abilities, but his defense last game was superb. It would have been awesome. I do think they could really use him on the court. I think Mikey Edwards would be a great defender against someone like Brandon Barrios, who only shoots the three.
Absolutely.
I think he could definitely hold his own there, and I just like to see him on the court more. He's completely dedicated to the team, and it would be nice if some of that hard work starts to pay off.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for being here with us, John. We're going to turn it back over to our other commentator for the night, Tom Pottiger.
Thank you, Bryce.
Hey, no problem. Have a good night.
I am back, people.
As we see Tim Lateef bringing the ball up for the staff team, 30-28 as the Primetime hits a nice 2 to kick things off. Very short halftime, a lot shorter than what we normally see. It's normally an 8-minute halftime tonight. It was 3.5. Do you think that's going to gas some of the players? They weren't able to catch their breath?
I think Primetime will really suffer from that. They're really out there hustling and not really playing efficiently, if you want to say so. I mean, Tim Lateef, he looks like he's got all the energy in the world, just kind of hanging out on the point, which looks awesome.
Which is good. If they can keep him fresh with it, because it's very long halves. It's 20-minute halves. If they can keep him fresh going late in the game, Shatier makes a nice drive, rebounded by Matt Widener, passes out to Tim Lateef. If they can keep Tim fresh late in this game, there's no telling what he can do. We know he has a couple of knee issues that he's battling, so that could be why as Doug Smith makes a fantastic move to get down low and put it in.
Keeping that 4 lead just like they always will, it seems like, in this game.
Nice that we see the incredible ball movement by the staff. They're moving the ball so well. Primetime has not ever statistically moved the ball well as Brandon Barrios takes another 3. That won't go. Tim Lateef with an awesome rebound. If they can keep Brandon Barrios shooting and missing, there's no telling how good staff could be this year as Tim Lateef's blocked up by his own man, but he's going in hard, and he takes the foul. He'll shoot 2 at the line. And man, that's what you like to see Tim Lateef do late in the game. Push the ball, go hard in the paint, go down low, go for that mamma jamma. See a fan run across the court. Interesting to know John Manning running across the court, who we just had on air. I would like to see Mikey Edwards checking in this game. We talked about this at halftime. Hasn't played a whole lot this game. I think he could be a fantastic defender on Brandon Barrios. I would like to see him get in the game because every once in a while he'll hit that nice 3 that'll bust the game wide open. Rebounded by Tony Malone as he brings up the ball for Primetime. Passes down to Brandon Barrios. Brandon Barrios takes the shot, fakes the shot, passes down to Ethan Holmes. Back out to Tony Malone. Tony Malone from the top. Passes over to Zach Barberry. Zach Barberry for three. Won't get it to go. Rebounded by Matt Miner.
And there was no defense for Primetime in the area. They had 3 staff right there. I don't know what's going on.
And the staff doesn't even have to play defense because Primetime's not even driving the ball. They're just keeping it outside on the arc and shooting it. See how staff works it in down low, passes it back out deep, gets it down low again.
Look at that. They pull the defense straight out, and Chris is wide open in the bottom.
It's fantastic. Their ball movement, staff's ball movement is superb, and we're just not seeing a good response by Primetime at all. And in fact, this will be a major upset if staff comes in to this game and wins it. This is going to be unbelievable, especially because Primetime at the beginning of the season was picked in the power ranking 2nd overall. Right now, they're sitting 4th in the league. They are truly not living up to the hype that they created for themselves. Passes down low to Zach Barberry. Zach Barberry looks.
I think that's the first pass we've seen from Brandon all night.
And that could not be a truer fact. As Chris Stutzman says, eat my fist, and he gets a good swat. Grabbed by Watch Out Young Park as he brings it up, passes it out to Tim Lateef.
The staff team's rebounds are so impressive down here on this end of the court.
Really
it's phenomenal.
They're playing with so much more heart. It's almost not even fun to watch Primetime, honestly, out there on the court. As Chris Stutzman's going to dribble in hard, goes in hard, and he takes a hard foul. Gets interesting. He gets knocked down, no call. Gives it to Tony Malone, and that's where you need 2 refs. It's kind of interesting.
Brandon for the fakes it,
down low,
but he's got nothing down low. Look at that. Ethan's up. Ooh, gets blocked by Young Park.
Stolen, taken away by Chris Stutzman, passes it over, and that's just another set of fantastic defense. They had a 2-on-1 coming down. They rush the ball. They don't get the shot they want, turns it over back to staff. And Tim Lateef is literally eating this Primetime zone alive as we see an unlikely 3 from Matt Widener. Doesn't take many of those. Zach Barberry.
He's driving. They got nothing there, though. They are pushing it way too fast.
They're pushing it too fast. When they have open looks, they're not taking them, and they're forcing shots. They're forcing shots is what's really just not working for them. They need to start looking for the more open opportunities. Point guard duties have gone back to Young, playing very calm, cool, and collected.
Taking after Tim, who was playing point earlier, which is really good, and I think they're saving their energy.
I mean, right now, it's 14:56 left to go. Staff on top, 33-28. And from the way it's looking right now, if the staff team could score just a little bit more, this game could be a lot.
I mean, it's been 3 minutes since anyone scored, so we're going to see.
And that right now plays to the staff team's advantage. They don't need to score. If they can just keep playing solid defense, this Primetime team has not showed that they have the players to do what it takes.
Young with the 3 over there, man. That was great.
3. Looks up to the stands. Yep, we got it. And Tony Malone's bringing it over. You can see how frustrated he is by the way he's dribbling the ball, the nonchalant, looking to the fans. He probably will not be playing for Primetime next year. Oh, nice crossover.
You can definitely tell he's upset with the drive there.
It's interesting to note Kari's making the calls from the sidelines. I'd like to see him get down low in the baseline to make these calls, as Tony Malone is clearly not happy with his play or his teammates' play. Tony shooting 2. The first of 2. That'll go. Second shot for Tony. They really need this to get back into the game. And he'll hit it.
Still amazing, though, to see the staff team up by 6 points right now.
And when coming into this game, no one thought they had a chance, honestly. They were just going to try and keep it close and give the fans a good show.
So, Bryce, if we were a betting school, who would you put your money on?
If we were, honestly, with the heart and hustle that staff is playing with right now, they could beat a lot of teams in the league. They are severely underrated. But with Tim Lateef, the physical, the athletic abilities of Young Park, the Viking-like tenacity of Doug Smith, the long-arm tentacles of Chris Stutzman, and the mindset and heart of Mikey Edwards, there's no telling how far this team could go. Primetime just doesn't look like they want it. They just think it's going to come to them, and it's clearly not. Last week, we saw Ethan Holmes play a lot. He's not getting the looks that he was getting last year, and it's really coming back to haunt him.
Do you think we're going to see Mikey Edwards get put in after this timeout? Because I would love to see him on the court.
I know. We've been wanting to see him all night. I would love to see him. It doesn't look like we're going to see him right. Yes, we are. Mikey Edwards now checks in for the staff team. Hopefully they get it to him like they were able to last week. Mikey Edwards now will check in for the staff team.
Seems to be a little confusion over there. Not sure if Juan or Young is going to be coming in.
Hopefully they put in Young. For this type of setup, you're going to want to have Tim Lateef and Juan in for the setup. For the offense that they run, it's nice to have 2 point guards to be able to take over their responsibilities. Young, I'm sorry. Young's going to bring it up. And just the casual, calm, cool, collected aura that is this staff team as they bring it up. Young looking down low. Finds Chris.
Chris is wide open with a
dribble,
layup.
And you can't teach hustle, folks, and that's what it is tonight.
Staff team is just playing so smart. I love it, Bryce.
It's so smart. And in fact, they're not even having to take jumpers because Primetime is giving them layups. It is literally embarrassing. I would be embarrassed if I was anything related to the Primetime right now. As Ethan Holmes' tip won't go, grabbed.
We see a lot of tips from Ethan down here, and I don't think it's working. I think he needs to go for the rebound instead.
I would like to see him grab it with 2 hands versus the very fancy NBA 2-hand tip. Very fairy-like, and it's not working for him here tonight as Young Park is going to do work on him down low. And that's a foul.
I think that was a really fair call, especially from where our one referee was sitting, which is very shocking.
That's a very, very good call. See John Manning showing off some of his dance moves on the sidelines. Always fun for the fans. You see, starting to get a little bit more crowd down there low on the left. Starting to fill in that first aisle.
We have that 8-point lead with the staff right now. They're just pulling ahead.
And that's right. 38 staff with 12-10 to go in the second half. If they can hold on to this, this is going to be not only a morale booster, but a big win in the point standings for a team that's chasing playoffs. As Young Park hits another one from the line.
Pulls it to 39-30. That's awesome.
I mean, they are almost beating them by double digits. Who would have thought at the beginning of this game that would ever happen? Ethan Holmes. And it's like Primetime doesn't even care. It's like they just think they're going to win this, and they better realize if they don't get their act together, they are not going to be able to come back from a deficit this large.
I think their ego is standing in front of the net because these drives are ridiculous, and there's no control there. I don't know what he's driving for.
I couldn't have said it better. He's dribbling into 3 guys, and he's got 4 guys open. That's where he's just got to be able to see the floor better. He just does not. Shatir hasn't had very good court awareness this game, usually from a player who's very sturdy. Interesting. Shatir's younger brother, Emmanuel, is on the team. I don't see him here tonight. I wonder if there's a reason for that. If their losing streak. Right now, Primetime is on a 4-game losing streak. So.
And Primetime seems to be pushing really hard. Might be going for another drive.
As we see Demetrius Muse giving us a shout-out as he's walking out of the gym.
Got some pressure as Tim Lateef brings it down.
But Tim Lateef, if you're going to pressure a guy, he can handle theirs. It's
stolen by Monroe. He's going to drive and see what he can do. Nothing. Mikey there with a rebound
and he gets it
to Chris. Oh.
Chris Stutzman, who handles it well. That'll be tipped off. As Brandon Barrios hits the speaker hard, wants a call, won't get it. Terrific rebound by Mikey Edwards. You've seen him getting down, getting dirty. He said, let me play with the big boys, and he did it tonight. Working down low. We don't really see Mikey Edwards working down low as much. He's more of on the outside arc.
Young bringing it down really relaxed. Him and Tim, the whole entire staff team is just kind of hanging out.
And that's what you do when there's no shot clock and there's 1 ref. You can really milk this clock for all it's worth. And remember, I mean, it's been 30-39 since 12 minutes ago. It's now almost 9 minutes, 50 seconds. And they're just taking their time, and Primetime's letting them. If you're Primetime, you got to start doing some full court press, some pressuring, some one-on-ones, and they're not doing it.
You see Mikey is doing defense on Brandon, which seems to be working well because Brandon has not got a shot off since Mikey's been in this game, and I think that's awesome to see him
to note. But, I mean, not only has he not gotten a shot, Primetime has only had 2 offensive opportunities this entire time Mikey's been on the court. As Chris Stutzman puts another one in, he'll be shooting 1 more, and then we'll go live.
I think that's 40-30 right there.
They haven't switched the scoreboard. They've been a little late on that. Should be 41. Should be 41-30, folks. Unfortunately, it's only 40-30. There.
No. The ref corrected it, so we got a good ref on the court.
41-30. Good. I'm glad they got that. As the Warriors team starts to trickle in now, they play the 10 o'clock game, and that's going to be a barn burner. Shatir passes it over to Brandon Barrios. Brandon Barrios probably can't shoot it from that deep. Passes down low.
Can't even get the layup on the lower. My goodness.
I don't believe this, honestly. I can't believe it as young as Primetime is with the lack of hustle that they're playing in.
Chris just goes for a casual 3. I mean, this is great.
Shot that?
Chris.
Okay. doesn't get it to go. Shatir Monroe shoots a three. That won't go either. Rebounded by Chris Stutzman. Chris Stutzman's going to push it up on his own. He said, I don't need you. And he doesn't.
Take it, man.
Doesn't even wait
Goodness.
the only person even down remotely close to him was Mikey Edwards. Mikey Edwards hustling back to get back on D. Playing fantastic D on Mikey Edwards. Shatir goes in. That's a three attempt by...
Seem to have almost everybody in the paint right now, which is ridiculous. There's no call on that either.
And that's true. And what's interesting to see is they got everyone in the paint, and they're still not getting the rebounds. Young Park at the top. Passes back to Tim Lateef. Tim Lateef looking low as he always does. Can't find anybody, so that means he might just take a little jab, step, and drive. Gets low. Won't get it to go, but the tip...
Oh, my goodness. Now Ethan should take notes on Tim Lateef's tip right there.
Can we just focus on the fact for a second that the staff team is up 15 points right now? Who would have thought at the beginning of this game?
I would not have thought that when I came into this game tonight, Bryce.
An upset. Probably one of the biggest upsets we'll see this season by a team so undermatched. Now, we have to look at the size. Staff has quite
Young with a nice block.
He throws it
Pass
over
to Tim. Tim's got a little bit of problems there. He'll get the foul, though. There we go.
Looks like it hit him in the groin as Tim Lateef will go to the deck a little bit, trying to get some breath there. Looks like he
recently married. Hard. That might be a problem.
That is a problem. I'm sure his wife's not too happy about that play, as he will head to the line to shoot two. Hopefully, he still has two. Oh, we're back. We're enjoying it up here, folks, as Tim Lateef is going to take a second shot, still huffing air. I will see if that affects his play later on. It's tough to play with
he's moving a little slow back on the court.
Moving a little bit of slow. That could be his swag. That could be his injury. Too early to tell. Goes in hard. He wants the foul.
He'll get a hand for that, though.
He won't get the call that he wanted, as that's a terrible shot by Zach Barberi.
Now, Ethan right there, I mean, maybe he's listening to us right now, but he went for a rebound and put it back up instead of a tap, and it worked.
Yeah, there he got his two hands on it. We were talking about early. He finally got his two hands on the ball. But really, he was just happened to be in a good position because of the horrible shot by Zach Barberi. They're not taking good shots. It's 44-32, but it's not too late for... 45-32 staff. It's not too late for this primetime team to make a run. They got some good outside shooters. If Brandon Berrios starts hitting the three, they could be back in this game in a matter of minutes. So the staff cannot let off the gas as they're coming down here. As we see the next team start warming up a little bit. Some shots from Zach Limitless, Devin Gardner. But getting underway after this timeout. Really, I mean, Primetime's only calling timeouts to get their breath and get water. They're not even talking strategy at this point. This is not a good sign for them. If you remember correctly, last year's championship team that I was the captain of, Primetime had a team. Our team name was the Real Primetime. We really got into their heads. We beat them by 11 in the championship. You can see John Manning donning the championship T-shirt that all of us got. Fantastic season. I can't give a big enough shout out to the team at that point. We had Mikey Ayala, John Manning, Bryce Wayne, and Kareem Boyd. Probably the toughest four players that we've ever had out here. Juan Delcid bringing the ball up for the staff team as Tim Lateef is checked out for a moment to grab some air. Hopefully this isn't the point where Primetime makes a run. Tim Lateef is not on the court. Usually when he's not on the court, statistically, their offense goes down by 36%.
But we did see staff pull in the lead with Tim Lateef not on the court earlier in the game, so I still have my faith in them.
That's true, and they've been playing good all night.
And Jesus.
I don't expect that to stop. Fantastic.
Ethan up for it, but he can't get it. Chris with the rebound. That was beautiful.
And Doug Smith has done a fantastic job on not letting them get down low as Young Park passes it over to Matt Widener. Matt Widener for three. Not used to seeing him take that as Brandon Berrios gets a very strange rebound. It's good to see Matt Widener, though, hustle back on defense. Matt Widener doesn't get a lot of shine in the stat book, but he's one of those players that you can't replace. He does just all the inaudible things.
Brandon's going to go for that three again, and he doesn't get it.
Brandon tries to flop and get the call. He won't get it as Tony Malone's doing work on Matt Widener. Widener steps up, but that'll go from downtown. And see, that's what you see. You can't sleep on them. Now they're only down by 5. down by 10, excuse me, with 5:30 to go in the game. If they really want to hold on to this game, I feel like they have to get Tim Lateef back in here. Otherwise, we could see them start getting back in this game real close, especially, Young Park goes in hard, loses it, gets his own rebound, and he'll put in
and put it up 47-35. We are 12 points ahead
for
the
staff. If they can't
staff.
stop Young Park, there's no way they're going to be able to stop Tim Lateef. And you can see that Tony Malone is just gassed right now. They're extremely tired. They're puffing for air. Shatir's shirt is just great.
He is just driving. He is determined to get that one drive, but he just can't get it.
He's been doing the same drive all night. When it's not working, it's like beating a dead horse.
Staff team is reading him way too well. He's got to give it up.
They are. They're playing the outside. They collapse when he drives, and it's working out perfect. Kenny hasn't made onto the court for them as Mikey Edwards is still out. I would like to see him in. Beautiful pass by Matt Weiner. Dribbles off his foot, though, and that'll go the other way. Excuse me. No, it will stay here for the staff. As Mikey Edwards is looking to call a timeout here. I believe he wants a timeout. I don't know if the ref's going to give it to him. He's still looking for it, and he'll get it here now. Little slight break in the action. It'll be a good time to let staff catch their breath and make this strong run to keep themselves in it. The second game between the Warriors, I'm not sure who the other team, Warriors and Rockets, should be very, very interesting here tonight as we see two of the more, should we say, bottom of the barrel teams come together and for a slugfest down here tonight. Going to be a low-scoring game, a lot of physical activity, and that's always exciting to see.
Maybe even some blood.
Hey, if we're lucky. Take this chance to give another shout out to our loyal fans. One of them being John Manning, who is. Right there, you're good. Okay.
Oh man, come on! We just give him a shout out, and he does
Hold
that
on.
to us.
We're gonna take a timeout. We're gonna take a broadcasting timeout. Sorry about that.
And we're back with the game.
We did not mean for you to see that as Young Park's getting worked on by Shatir. He dribbles around fast. He's moving in hard.
Ooh, tries to go for the no-look pass again to Doug, but it doesn't work out that time.
And this is not a time where they can afford to be too fancy. They just need to play their meat and potato style offense and just drive the ball. They're getting a little too fancy. The finesse might not work for them. They're not a team that's overly talented, so trying to do talented moves may not work.
Chris is getting these really solid rebounds in the bottom corner. It's great.
Real tall, real lanky. He doesn't have the weight to match up with some of these guys, but he's doing it here tonight as Doug brings the ball up to the top. See what he's going to do with it here. Takes a three on his own. Doesn't quite get it, but Young's there for the point after. And he'll put it in. Tony Malone's trying to make something happen. As Brandon Barrios takes a deep three. That won't go either. Another rebound by Chris Stutzman, excuse me. Playing a fantastic job here tonight as Young Park brings it up. Tom,
don't forget to tune in every night to the Mikey Report for Intramural Basketball
TMR,
live.
We're here. This is Bryce Koch and Tom Pottiger on the TMR. As that pass is tipped hard. Oh, and a fantastic athletic move by Doug Smith. Matt Weiner comes in, up and under.
Up and under. That was beautiful.
I don't think Primetime.
They are up 51-35. This is unbelievable.
51-35 staff with 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go. I don't see Primetime coming. Primetime doesn't have a chance at all as Tony Malone takes another hard foul. He'll go to the line again. We've seen him.
He's feeding off those fouls, I think.
He is, and that's the only way. I mean, if I was staff, I would just tell him not to foul because he's not making his baskets in the game. He's only getting them at the line.
I mean, honestly, if the defense probably just moved out of the way, he'd probably trip over himself down there. So
honestly, I don't even think he's looking at the rim when he goes in. He's just looking at throwing it up and taking the foul. That is a methodology. It is a strategy. It works in some leagues. I don't think that's a smart move here. Maybe on a team that's not as disciplined as staff, but you start playing the bigger teams, they're going to catch on to that, and they're not going to foul you.
Primetime is also looking very, very tired right now.
Very gassed. And if you notice, I've just now recently noticed this, they have no subs. If you look to their bench, there's no one over there. That could be a major factor into why they're not playing their game tonight. Usually they have quite a few, as Doug.
But I mean,
Smith will
Steph,
take another
yeah,
three. That
man.
won't go. When you're up
Chris
much,
Stutzman with
Chris
the interception
Stutzman with
on that. I don't even know if that's a
beautiful steal.
basketball term, but that was beautiful.
That is, it can be. We'll make anything a basketball term out here.
Really tight defense on the prime time. Doug has it at the top, though, still. Brandon.
Don't really like having Doug with the ball at the top. I'd like to see Tim Lateef get back into the game.
Juan's going to go with a three.
Juan takes a wide open
Not
three.
quite.
You got to take that shot when you're that open. Passes it.
Saves it to the wrong
had
team.
To save it. He didn't really have a shot otherwise.
And
And
he
shot.
finally gets the drive, but I wouldn't even call that a drive
Well,
because he just had open court.
It was correct. It was off the fast break, so it wasn't a true drive. It wasn't exactly what they needed. And, they're just not playing their style of ball. They haven't given up with a minute left. It's 37-51. All they got to do pretty much now is run out the clock.
I mean, if Staff is still going for it, I don't think that's going to be smart. They might just keep passing around, which would be really fun, and they're going to mess with Primetime's head.
True, and Juan misses the second three back-to-back, but it doesn't even matter at this point because they played so well early on. They can afford to make these decisions now.
Brandon's going to go with that, but it's still not going to go in. He's just out of it the second half. I think it went to his head.
He's being forced to take shots that are outside his shooting zone. And as you can see, the game is winding down with 25 seconds left on the clock. Young's going to try and hold it as long as he can. No shot clock. So Matt's going to pass it over to Juan. Juan's going to give it back to Young.
It looks like Staff will take it at this point. I mean,
yeah, without a doubt. It's just a fantastic game by Staff. They came out. They said, we're taking this game over, and they did. Absolutely unbelievable. And with 8 seconds on the clock, they call it final score 51-37.
The Staff will take it with a nice win, and I think that's awesome.
And that's a beautiful win for them. It's fantastic. It's good for the league. It's nice to see other teams winning. Unbelievable effort. Mikey Edwards comes in, gets the job done, locking down Brandon Barrios. He does what he has to do.
I think he intimidated him for the rest of the game because right after he did that really tight defense and Brandon couldn't get a shot off, he was all over the place the rest of the game.
And Staff worked well as a team when you can't say one player won it for him. You honestly would look at that. Doug had a ton of points. Tim Lateef facilitated great. Young drove well. Matt Widener, Chris Stutzman were picking up rebounds like their hands were glued to the basketball.
Oh, definitely.
You can't say enough about how well they're working as a team. And Primetime has a lot of celebrities, but not a lot of teamwork. So.
And the ball movement was beautiful on Staff. Primetime, we saw a lot of single drives or either threes, and that's just not going to cut it here.
If you're not going to work as a team, this is not the league for you. Stay tuned. We have an exciting matchup with the Rockets and the...
Tom Pottiger signing out for the night. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, at Tom Pottiger, TOMPOTTIGER. Thank you so much, UVF.
Always a pleasure having Tom on the show. It's fantastic. Fantastic game here tonight. I'm sitting here with one of the players from Staff, Mikey Edwards, who will be joining us later as well. Fantastic win for you guys tonight. Me and Tom couldn't say enough about the teamwork of Staff tonight. You guys came out against a very strong, very good-looking Primetime team and really, call you guys the bus drivers because, quite honestly, you took them to school tonight.
Well, I mean, you brought up the teamwork, and that really was what was a big key point in our pregame talks. And just working the ball around, getting the good shots, crashing the boards, and we did that tonight. We had a little size advantage, so that was a big plus for us.
Fantastic. And yeah, you guys worked as a team when you couldn't say you didn't have one standout player who exactly won it for you guys. You guys won that as a team. Absolutely fantastic. You just cannot say enough about that. Exciting game coming up here at 10 o'clock. I'm going to take a break, grab some water, get some air. You might hear me back for the second game, depending on how I feel. But definitely you will have Mikey here with the Mikey Report. This is Bryce Koch signing off for the moment, but we will have live action returning at 10 p.m.
Once again, the final score of that game was Staff 47, Primetime 35. Staff improves to 3-2, taking the lead in the Eastern Conference. Once again, Bryce Koch and Tom Pottiger with the call. John Manning joined in the halftime and early second half. We thank him for joining as well. There were a few shots that you might have missed because our camera was stationary. Our apologies for that. we can only do so much as a team here on TMR, and thankfully enough, we have the commentators, maybe just not enough camera operators, but we'll work on that for the future. But as of right now, it's been a pleasure for having extra commentators, especially when yours truly is on the court. But definitely a huge game coming up between the Rockets and the Warriors. Rockets still looking for that first win. It's always elusive to try to get that first victory. Rockets in the Eastern Conference at 0-4. Warriors out of the Western Conference currently at 3-1. Warriors are actually missing one of their standouts. Latrell Alford not here tonight. It looks like for probably some studious reason. So we'll have to try to pull up our information for you before this next game gets on, as this game gets underway. Again, Mikey Edwards here with the Mikey Report, TMR Sports exclusive coverage of intramural basketball here at UVF. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mikey Report here once again for our second game of the night, Rockets versus Warriors. Rockets have Ebon Proctor, Ruben Perez, Casey Wilkes, Adam Wilson, DJ, I'm just going to call him Manzel because I don't know his last name offhand, Andrew Gentile. Christian Perez actually no longer with the team, nor is George Machado. And we are missing Marquise Thompson here tonight. I don't know if Marquise is still playing or if he actually left the team as well, but Christian Perez and George Machado both left the team. And the Warriors are actually missing Eman Toms and Latrell Alford. They have Preston Saunders, RJ Baskin, Jeff Thropis is not in action. Kenny Murray, Izana Azrate, Mel Velez, Keegan Myers, Kenny, did I say Kenny Murray? I think I did. And no, E-Man is on the court. I couldn't distinguish exactly. And it seems like they have an addition in Kevin Carbajal. So we'll probably see him on the court. I don't know who's at. They got 6. They're gonna have to fix something because they got 6 starters right now on the court. It's gonna be Eman Toms, RJ Baskin, Kenny Murray, Preston Saunders, and Keegan Myers on the court for the for the Warriors. Jalen Archer, JT Taylor with the call of this action here tonight. Gentile, Wilkes, as Saunders with a quick 2 for the Warriors. Gentile, Proctor, Wilkes, Wilson, and DJ, which we will try to get his last name at some point. I think I might have gotten it before, but I did not actually get it in this one. Saunders bringing it up the court, swings it to Baskin. Baskin back to Saunders for 3, no good. Rebounded by DJ. DJ swings it up to Wilson. Wilson tries to lay it in, no good. And that is out of play. Once again, Mikey Edwards here for TMR Sports with exclusive intramural basketball coverage. Saunders kicks it down low. Get back out. Murray to Myers. Back to Murray for 2, and he knocks down. Kenny Murray has been a bright spot in yesterday's game and actually tonight so far early. So I'm very impressed with his play as of late as Andrew Gentile tries to do a little behind the back, up and under, no good. Emian Thomas dishes it into Baskin, and Baskin scores the bucket. DJ and Johnny Manziel jersey passes to Proctor for 3, no good. Rebounded by Kenny Murray. Murray gets it over to Baskin. Baskin passes back into Murray, and Murray's got 4. And it is an 8-0 game. Can't say enough about this Warrior team. And there's Murray with a steal up to Baskin. Baskin will lay it in. He's got 4. Murray and Baskin accounting for 8 of the 10 for the Warriors so far tonight in the early onset. Again, the Rockets are struggling. They seem to be working the ball better, but they're just having their struggles out of the gate, trying to get the bucket. They're moving the ball. They're driving the lane, but they're just not getting it in. Saunders over to Baskin. Baskin over to Murray. Murray steps in. Free throw line. No good. Rebounded by Wilkes. Wilkes playing partially blind, probably because of no glasses. Manziel over to Gentile. Gentile to Proctor. Proctor traveling. Warrior ball. Warriors in white. A mixture of colors for the Rockets. Somewhere in red, somewhere in black, somewhere in gray. Kenny Murray driving in, and he is fouled going to the hoop. Murray looking to pick up his 5th and 6th points of the night. Murray misses the first. Murray makes the second, so he's got 5 on the night. 5 of the 11 so far for the Warriors. Gentile drives, baseline, gets it to go. The first points for the Rockets come off the hands of Andrew Gentile. And he almost steals it as Baskin gets it stolen away by Proctor, but Tom steals it right back and drives it in for 2. 13-2, the score right now in the early onset. 10:09 here on the East Coast. 35 degrees outside. A balmy 80 plus, I think, here in the broadcast booth. Proctor with the abnormal 3 cannot get it to go as Baskin will pick up the board and doesn't get around Proctor, but gets it out for some help as Saunders is at the top, trying to find some open people to get the pass to. Actually looking for was looking for E-Man. E-Man is a decent ball handler. Saw that in Patriot basketball action last season as Saunders shoots a three. Good. Rebounded by Myers, and Myers knocks down. Good work by the big man, Keegan Myers. Wilson over to Proctor. Proctor kicks it to Gentile. Gentile over to Wilson. Wilson for three. A little off the mark over to Saunders. Saunders, Bryce, and myself alluded to the other day, the three-sport player. Murray passes to Myers. Myers gets it back to Murray, and Murray just couldn't get that one to go. Ball in the hands of Casey Wilkes over to DJ, back to Wilkes. Wilkes to Evon Proctor, 4-3, no good. Rebounded by Saunders. They do have a slight height advantage right now. Toms drives, does not get to go, no foul call. And Toms knocks down, he's got 4. Proctor inbounds to Wilson, back to Proctor. Proctor, a primary ball handler for the team. He's also captain of the squad. Gentile drives, fouled by Saunders. Gentile will go to line to try to pick up a pair. Or no, it's not a foul. A foul on the offensive side of the ball. Ruben Perez into the game for Proctor. As we have Mel Velez, Kevin Cabajal, and Izana Azrate, also known as Froyo, into the game for the Warriors. Mel over to E-Man. E-Man tries to kick it down to Saunders, stolen away by Gentile. Gentile driving. Can't get around Cabajal, over to taken by E-Man Toms. Toms back out to Froyo. Froyo for 3, no good. Perez had grabbed it, but taken away by Saunders. Over to Mel Velez, no good. Rebound by Adam Wilson over to DJ. DJ was the big hitter with the threes. Ruben Perez drives. An offensive foul called against Ruben Perez as Mel Velez takes that charge. E-Man Toms bringing the ball up for the Warriors in this half court. Toms drives, gets it to go. That's 6 for him. Trying to keep my tally. E-Man Toms with the breakaway. Kicked back out to Kevin Cabajal. And it swung to Saunders. Saunders back out to Froyo. Froyo over to Mel Velez for 3. Can't get it. Warriors up 19-2. This might be Kevin over to Froyo off the foot of Wilson. Proctor back in. He's taking Wilkes out. A little short-handed on that squad tonight. Saunders over to Velez. Velez over to E-Man. E-Man Toms. Toms drives, is fouled, and he'll go to the line shooting a pair. Score is 20-2 right now in favor of the Warriors. Good, man. Thorne McIntosh joins us next nearby here in the booth. We got a pretty long booth, so we got enough space for a lot of people. DJ over to Adam Wilson. Adam Wilson shoots a high arcing three. Can't get it to go. Proctor is fouled. And he'll go to line shooting. 9 and change left here in this first half. Proctor trying to dwindle this Warrior lead down. Avon Proctor misses both. Rebounded by Andrew Gentile. Stolen away. Well, not stolen away, but Ruben Perez down low. Can't get that to go. DJ misses a three out of play in favor of the Warriors. Izana over to Carvajal, no good. Rebounded by Adam Wilson. First game action for Kevin. Just signed with the team this weekend. Preston Saunders gets it to go. 22-2. 20-point lead right now. Mercy rule is 40 by, I think, the 10-minute mark. 3-second lane violation. Someone wasn't shuffling their feet. All right, we got Murray, Baskin, and Myers back in. Taking out the reserves of Azrate, Carvajal, and Velez. Wilkes is back in. Took out Gentile. Proctor with the rebound. Proctor up to Wilkes. Wilkes to Perez, and that's two. First points since a while ago. I've lost track as to when the Rockets scored their points. They have come few and far between. E-Man Toms knocks down another two. He's got, I think, 8 right now. He might have 10. I don't remember offhand. Proctor gets it stolen away by Murray. Murray up to E-Man Toms, who puts down another. DJ over to Ruben Perez, and that's 2 more for Ruben. That is 4 for him. But needless to say, this has been all Warriors tonight. Kenny Murray, E-Man Toms facilitating. You don't see the basketball players on these intramural squads actually facilitating to the other team members. But this has been, the Warriors have been a very good team-working team. A foul on the floor by Evan Proctor, using his body to push Kenny Murray, almost to push Murray out of bounds. And that's stolen away by DJ after Baskin tried to get it into Murray. Proctor. A 3 attempted pass. Got it to Wilson. Wilson, I think, has 4. Izana Azrate coming in. Giving Emian Toms a breather. Wilson kicks it out to Wilkes. Wilkes for 2, and he knocks down. They counted that as a 3. Even though that was on the line, that should have been a 2. It should be 28-10. Kenny Murray knocks down. Another deuce. Should actually be 30-10, not 30-11, according to what the board is. Warrior ball. I will correct. Timeout has been called. 3:20 left in the first half. 30-10 is the actual score. It says 30-11. It should be 30-10. We'll take it with them. We'll be back here on TMR Sports right after this. All right, score. The official score is actually 30-10 right now. And I'm going to keep that as 30-10 right now until we get things figured out here. JT Taylor kind of being a little distracted right now. It's rocket ball right now. Under 3 to go. Proctor with the abnormal 3, and he finally makes one. It should be 30-13. They were kind of gracious, I think. Kevin Carvajal, no good. Gentile gets the grab. Wilkes is out, has stepped out of play with 3 points on his tally. DJ just off the rim. Gentile with the rebound. Gentile in traffic. Keegan Myers with the board. Froyo is on Zarate. Over to Keegan Myers. Myers drives. No good. Rebound by Baskin. Put back up. No good. Cavajal, the speedy Kevin, and he steps out of play. DJ into Adam Wilson. Back to DJ. DJ trying to make it. No good. Rebounded by Wilson. Oh, out to Proctor. Proctor, money again. Proctor finally knocking down here. He could have knocked down the last game, but he has knocked down 2. And don't call him late for dinner. Rebound by DJ. 30 to technically 16, even though we might call it 17. Proctor try almost with the catch and shoot, doesn't get it. And a foul is called. Warrior ball. About 30 to 16. Well, 30 to 16 is the actual score. Baskin gets it to go 32 to 16. It's a 16-point game. Our scoreboard says 15, but it's actually 16. We might edit that before we get going, before the second half. I'll let the ref, our head ref, our one main ref, JT Taylor, know. It will be halftime. Ruben Perez will shoot this final free throw before the end of the half. Hopefully we'll make this one. And he does, as our official score is 32 to 17 at the half. (32-17) at the half. Our scoreboard says here in the pit says 32-18, but like I said, that one hit by Casey Wilkes was actually a 2, not a 3. His feet were on the line. So I am gonna take a quick break, let the referee know to make to go to the table to edit that calculation. All right. We did get that. Check. All right, there we go. We did get our score updated. It is actually legitimately the right score, 32-17. Again, we had that 1 3-pointer from Casey Wilkes. What that was originally calculated as a 3. It was a 2 because we have it from our perch here in the broadcast booth. We're about ready to get underway with second half here between Warriors and the Rockets. So let's see what transpires here. I believe it will be the Rockets with the inbound for this one to start the second half. And here we go. We're underway here with second half between Warriors and the Rockets. Rockets trying to keep it competitive here. Gentile, 3. Out of play, Warrior ball. All right, 32-17. Saunders passes over to Toms. Toms kicks it into, tries to kick it into Baskin, but Baskin loses it out of his hands. Saying RJ's last name is making me hungry for ice cream. If you guys get my reference at all. And Gentile misses. Ruben Perez knocks down. And the first points of the half actually go to the Rockets. 32-19. So, I mean, again, the Rockets show promise. There's a lot of promise out of this team, but they just have to gel and work together. Andrew Gentile knocks down the triple. And that was a legit triple. And a loud timeout called. 18-24 left in this game. 32-22. We will return. Once again, want to thank everyone who tunes into TMR each night, whether you watch live or whether you actually watch tape delay. We thank you for all the coverage you decide to, and that you decide to, or not coverage, but love you decide to show us each and every single night. Thank you, and please visit. Please get yourself some TMR merchandise for being such faithful fans. cafepress.com/TMR shop. And the Warriors inbound it. Emian Toms for 3, and he rolls it in. Ruben Perez kicks it to Wilson. Wilson, a little off the mark, grabbed by DJ, over to Proctor. Proctor using the glass. He cashed that one in at the bank. Toms over to Baskin. I'm saying those two names, I'm feeling like I'm doing promotional coverage. DJ off the rim over to Murray with the rebound. Murray, a good brand of bike. I used to have a Murray bike back in like 2001 until 2005. Ruben Perez tries to get it. Saunders, I think, could have been called for a offensive foul. I mean, him and Ruben Perez were getting tied up there a little bit. Tom's foul and one. Gentile going to the line. I mean, Gentile with the foul. Tom's going to the line. 37-24 the score with under 17 to go. And I do want to apologize last night for a confusion. And last night I had stated the state date being March 29th. That was actually Sunday, not yesterday. I corrected that on the actual video title, but I did not correct that on the actual video, except putting it in the comment section. So again, my apologies. We all make mistakes, and I must have been just a day behind. Everything's just running. Every day just runs together sometimes. Preston Saunders just makes it 39-24 with 16 to go. Gentile over to DJ, back to Gentile. Gentile drives. Doesn't get to go. Ruben Perez with the board. DJ trying to do some work low, but cannot get it to go. Didn't get that last one high enough, actually. E-Man Toms for three, and he swooshes it. Nothing but net. 42-24, 18-point game here with 15:30. Stolen away by Keegan Myers. Swung around to Kenny Murray, who knocks down. Kenny Murray has been a good player for this Warriors squad. He has been the dark horse of the team. That would be a dark horse. Murray to Baskin to Saunders, making another score. It's a 22-point game. Putting a huge pressure on the Rockets. The Rockets getting a little lackadaisical right now on their on-ball play, as passes are being telegraphed, essentially. They'd be better sending them through Western Union. As Saunders will grab a foul, and he will go, and DJ will go to the line. Okay, AC Wilkes comes in for Adam Wilson. Ruben Perez with the bucket. Baskin for a deep three. He won't get that to go, and it's out of play. Coming down, Rockets ball. Again, 20-point game right now. Proctor, three. And making it direct deposit there. Ebon Proctor. Keegan Myers off the front iron. Murray misses. Tried to get around. Baskin gets it over to E-Man Toms ultimately. Toms misses. Rebound by Saunders. Saunders. As Froyo comes in for Myers. JT Taylor kind of more of a relaxed mode tonight. Don't know why he's doing that. Saunders makes the bucket 48-29. 19-point game, I do have to admit, the Rockets, although they are struggling, they have not buried themselves out of this one, as Saunders makes another bucket. Now, I would say if Latrell was here, it might be a different story, but I think when they looked at the schedule, or when he looked at the schedule, just don't break my window, please. When they were looking at when the Warrior team looked at schedule, it's like, Trell, you don't really need to come. But I mean, I don't think he would have. He did well on the facilitating side of things in last night's game, and I mean it's back-to-back nights, so you kind of have to do a little give and take when it comes to stuff like that. And you kind of have to make sure you get your rest too, because you don't want to overdo yourself. As Gentile misses, rebounded by Saunders up to Toms. Toms back out to Baskin. Baskin gets it poked by Perez, but Saunders was right there. Over the head to Murray, but Murray over the hoop to DJ. DJ spots up for three, and he bricks it. Gentile tries to kick it out, but Murray to Tom. Tom spots up for a baseline tray. Rims out. Saunders there for two. 52-29. 10:40 left. DJ. Ruben Perez knocks down. Baskin. That should be a offensive control foul, because Baskin looked to be going a little out of control on that one. That's a questionable call there in my opinion. We might have to discuss that, but Baskin goes to the line nonetheless, shooting a pair. Misses the first. Wilson comes in for Proctor. (53-31) the score right now. 9.5. DJ kicks it out to Wilson. Wilson gets it in for two. Adam Wilson, we don't hear his name a lot because he's not really a shooter, and he's not really that one standout player that you see on this squad. You get your Ruben Perez down low, you get your DJ and Ebon from outside, but you don't hear Adam Wilson that much, and he's a very underrated player for this Rocket team. JT called a travel. JT's kind of held in like center court right now. He's standing there more like a volleyball ref at center court than he is anything else. But I think tonight's just like one of those nights. It's Easter week where everyone's kind of just letting things go. And I think we've had so many games where both of them have gone so long, and when both games end, they're past 11 o'clock. And I admit that this letting the boys and girls play is definitely key. We're under 8 to go, 53-33. It's only a 20-point game. I mean, the problem is Rockets are dealing with the clock now to try to get back in this. But also you got the speed of this Warrior squad. RJ Baskin passes to Emian Toms for a triple, and he knocks down. 56-33. If it's like 35, I think a 35-point differential is the mercy rule with 5 minutes to go. So if we get to that, we'll see. But Ruben Perez knocks down a 2. Was that a 2? It was either a 2 or a 3. They called it a 2. We'll go with that because I didn't actually notice. It could have been a 3. .640 left. 56-35. Proctor in for Wilkes. Prop is actually on the Rocket bench right now. Gentile with the bucket. 56-37. We're back in the teens here. With under 6 to go. Toms, 3. Knockdown. 59-37. All right. I've lost track. DJ misses. Rebounded by Emian Toms. RJ Baskin with the bucket. Jalen Archer was trying to figure out how many points it was. But yeah, I don't exactly remember. Emian Toms looking to knock down another 3. Just misses that one. Froyo back out to Toms. Over to Murray. Murray gets a hand from Wilson, and it's stolen away. Stolen away by DJ. DJ guarded heavily by Froyo. Last touched by the Rockets. Baskin, deep 3. He's shooting almost half-court shots. There's almost a true half-court shot. He's got an arm, but they're not going down. It's like lack of control on them. I think Jonathan Kenyon-Dewey just told him to stop, but we'll see. Tom's trying to break some ankles, which wouldn't be good for the Tom Shoe Company, let me tell you that, if the ankles were broken. 61-37. Baskin actually gets 1 to go, but this time it's only a 2, not a deep half-court 3. Proctor over to Perez. Perez drives, gets it to go. If I'm not mistaken, Perez is in double digits. I'd have to look over everything once again. I don't keep a scorebook here, so I just do TMR coverage. And RJ actually hits rim on that one. DJ for 3, no good. Rebound by Ruben Perez, who put up a 2, no good. Proctor grabs it, gets away from Froyo, no good. Rebound by Perez. Perez passes to Proctor, and they get it to go. And 63-41, 2:45 left. RJ Baskin for 2. 65-41. timeout called as they... Oh, no. No timeout. They're just going to let him play. That was DJ who shot the 3 off camera. No good. Gentile doesn't get it to go. Kenny Murray with the rebound. And 2:04 left. 65-41. 2:04 to go. I think subs are coming in for the Warriors. Want to remind you that we got action tomorrow night, tipping off at 9 o'clock. So you don't want to miss any action here. Like I said, don't want to miss any action here on TMR tomorrow night, beginning at 9 o'clock, pregame at 8:45. I'll have to look at my schedule again, which is on my other quote-unquote BlackBerry. It's actually my S4. Our next one, it would be Super Squad versus Kingsman at 9, and Lil Nicky and the High Rollers versus Primetime. Those will be the 2 games in action tomorrow night. You don't want to miss either of those. They're sure to be a good one. It's 2 minutes left. Mel Velez just missed the 2. Stolen away by Baskin. Over to Mel Velez. Mel Velez for 3. Just off the mark. Mel just not hitting. Stolen away by Wilson. DJ to Wilson. Adam Wilson for pair. Pretty much a tip. That would be a tip-in. An offensive rebound and a tip-in if you were keeping a book at home. Ruben Perez with the rebound. 22-point lead. 65-43. Baskin takes it away. Baskin to Toms. Toms. Kick to Froyo from Velez to from Froyo. Out of play. 1 minute to go. They should have stopped the clock back at 1 minute, but Baskin with the steal. We're going to say thank you once again to everyone for watching tonight's coverage here on TMR. Again, tomorrow night we got Super Squad Kingsman at 9, Primetime High Rollers at 10. This is going to look like a 60-something 43. It's going to be 60-something 40-something. Wilson just lets that get away. 3, 2, 1. And that is the end of the game. 65-43 is the final. Rockets fall to 0-5. Warriors improve to 4-1. Now that it's going to be interesting with tomorrow's game. Super Squad Kingsman. Will Kingsman come out and try to take the Super Squad down and knock them down, or will Super Squad just come out like they have and just dominate? We'll see, and we'll see you tomorrow night for that action here on TMR Sports. And for all TMR coverage, visit the Facebook page at facebook.com/Mikey Report. Mikey Edwards here, thanking Bryce Koch, Tom Pottiger, John Manning, and for all of us here, good night.